Hey there, 3D artists and anime fans. Today, I'm going to show you how I created the stunning anime style waterfall in Blender, fully shaded with a custom anime materials and animated to perfection. If you're a fan of the beautiful visuals from anime like Your Name or Spirited Away, then you're in for a treat. We're diving deep into how I modeled, shaded, and animated the scene step by step. And trust me, this isn't just a simple render. This is a living anime scene that will help you level up your Blender skills. And the best part, if you're a supporter on Patreon, you'll get early access to this entire breakdown before anyone else on YouTube. Plus, you will receive exclusive perks like all the assets I use, models, anime materials, or Blender add-ons, and much more. You'll also get access to my Blender Master ebook, materials packs, and courses that help you become a 3D anime style pro. So if you want to get your hands on all of these before anyone else, head over to my Patreon and join the community. I'm here in a fresh Blender scene. I'm going to select everything and then press X and delete. I'm going to start up by adding Shift A mesh plane. And I'm going to move it on the Z axis. So like the waterfall, free waterfall, it is higher on the ground, you know. So press G, then Z, and I'm going to move it, for example, by 7 meters. And you have the choice to move it, to any higher amount, okay? So anyways, now I'm going to see the dimensions. Okay, I'm going to make it wide on the x-axis. As you can see, this is the x-axis. I'm going to make it wide by 4.2, for example. You have the choice to make it any wide. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to select this edge here. So you need to select the edge selection mode. Okay, it's weird. Select the edge selection mode. Okay, make sure the edge selection mode is enabled, and then select this edge, the front edge. Okay, you can see it right now. It's highlighted. Then press E and then right click to to cancel this stuff, and then press G, then Z, and then -7 to move it back to where it was. Okay, that's cool. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to select this edge right now, and then I'm going to press G, then Y, and then I'm going to move it 4 meters on the Y axis. So it's going to go there. Okay, you can make it go further, G, Y, 2 meters. Okay, for example, just to make it going like so. Okay, I'm going to select this edge right now, and I'm going to bevel it so it is kind of smooth. So Control B to do that, and you can see we need to add more segments so it's going to be smoother. Okay, so with your mouse scroll wheel, you can increase the amount of the edges or the segments. Okay, and just eyeball the bevel. For example, I'm going to do this bevel. Right click and then Object Context menu and then Shade Smooth. Okay, right now all of these are perfect, but we have one problem, which is the scaling. You can see the x-axis is going by 2 meters, which means not 2 meters, by 2, value of 2. Okay, so I need to reset that to 1 to 1 to 1, so the scaling is going to be perfect. So Control A and apply the scale. That will fix up my scaling. And you can see the location is set to 7 meters, which what we did. Okay, I'm going to leave it as is because yes, we did move it on the Z axis, so I want Blender to remember that. Okay, so now I'm going to create a new section for the materials or the shader editor. So I'm going to go to this corner right here, and I'm going to click and hold and drag in the same time. Do all of these in the same time, and then I'm going to switch that to shader editor. Okay, press Enter to close the side menu and do the same thing here, and then focus on this waterfall. Okay, something like so, and then enable the material preview. Okay, make sure you are an Eevee, enable the M occlusion, and then bloom if you want. Okay, I'm going to play with the bloom later on, but not now. Okay, so I'm going to create for it a new material, and I'm going to name it Waterfall. Okay, I'm going to delete the principal PSDF because I don't need it. X to delete, and I'm going to start by adding gradient texture. So Shift A and search for the gradient texture. But I have something, so I have a new add-on that makes stuff like so easier. Control A, and you can see the shaders, and you can search for the shaders or the textures. Let's see where is the gradient texture. This is it. Just add it so easily. And I have it connected to my quick favorites, so I can press Q and then G, so I can add the gradient texture. So easy. Okay, this add-on is called Pi something. Okay, let's see. It's called NotePy 1.2.34. Okay, something like so. And I'm going to connect this color to the surface, and then I'm going to press Ctrl T to add texture coordinate and mapping nodes. Okay, by the way, you need to enable that in edit preferences. You need to enable the node wrangler add-on. I bet you have it enabled because all of the YouTubers say that. Okay, so node wrangler, make sure the autosave is enabled and save preferences, and then close this. Okay, I want to rotate that on the y-axis, so it's going to start from this to this. Okay, so yeah, we need the brighter part to be down here and the darker one to be right here. Okay, we can rotate it by 90 degrees. Okay, we have the inverse, so I'm going to add a color ramp, and then I'm going to invert this color ramp. Now it's perfect. I'm going just to play with the X location and just make the black fade away a little bit, not too much. Okay, and now I'm going to add some colors. For example, this black color, I'm going to add to it this color with the hex value of 007 E8, or this is 8 or B? Yeah, 8 and 2. Okay, now value of 00D 5DC. Okay, so now I'm going to add noise textures. So let's search for that noise texture. Okay, let's add it. Control T to add texture coordinate and stuff. Now let's view that. Control Shift and left click to view this noise texture. It is working, but we have some stretching going on here. Okay, I don't want that. So I'm going to work with UVs. Okay, let's work with UVs. It is not UV'd, so I'm going to go to edit mode, select everything by pressing A, U, and then unwrap. Okay, that will fixes some of these problems. Let's add a color ramp so we can make the contrast appears a little bit like so. For the scale, I'm going to scale it by 12, for example, and then I'm going to make this color ramp constant, and then just do that like so. Perfect. Definitely, you can increase the scaling, and that make it looks good. Okay, let's switch that to 4D. So in case we wanted to animate it, later on, you can do that. Okay, and I'm going to squeeze it a little bit on the x-axis. Squeeze it a little bit, okay? Like so, that's good. And then I want this foamy thing kind of just to be in this area above. I don't want it to be in here. So we can make something else here, okay? So I'm going to multiply this with another gradient texture. So let's do that. Let's Shift D this gradient texture setup. Let's view that. It is in here. Let's play with the X location, okay, and increase it till this point here. And I'm going to add a color ramp so we can make this black is black and white is fully white. Okay, something like so. And then I'm going to multiply these together using a mix color node. And this mix color node is going to be set to multiply. And then I'm going to add this color to the A color and this color to the B color. And let's view that. The factor right now says to 0.5, which is in the middle, but we want it to be 1. So this one is going to be restricted to this area here. We can make it go up a little bit, okay, something like so. And that is perfect because we are going to add something else in here, okay? And we can play with this X location later on if you want to modify this, okay? Good. For some reason, I say okay, ton of times. So please count that. How many times I say okay. And now I'm going to duplicate the same setup. Literally the same setup. Sorry. I'm going to duplicate the same setup. Shift D to duplicate it. And I'm going to play with this noise texture. I'm going to squeeze it more. Okay, squeeze it more. Squeeze. And then also squeeze it or stretch it on the y-axis. So it's going to be like so. And play with the scale. The scale is going to be heck bigger. Okay, like so. And I'm going to play with the color ramp. So something like so. Perfect. Now let's see the gradient texture because we are going to multiply it again. Let's flip this color ramp. Okay, we can see. Okay, let's play with X location to see if that thing's moving. Literally, we have something going wrong. We want the black to be up and the white to be down. Okay, for example, like so. Let's do that. Definitely. I want to see that where it ends up. Okay, let's play with it more. And now let's add the same mix color with multiply. Okay, and let's multiply these together. Okay, multiply them and see. Okay, this looks good. We can add these together using a mix color sets to add. Okay, and then this one to the color A, this one to the color B. Factor sets to 1 as always. I want to see these things if they are intersected or no. Actually, they are pretty good. They are pretty good. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Brilliant. Okay. Now we want to make like kind of a highlight in here. Okay. All the anime industry do that. All. Okay. The Ghibli studio, Makoto, anyone, everyone do this highlighting here. So let's do that. And now the trick is to duplicate the same color ramp or gradient texture, copy it, okay? We are going to use ton of these gradients, so yeah, you will learn how to use these. Okay, and then I'm going to distort this with noise texture. So let's do that. Let's add a noise texture, a special noise texture for that. Okay, going to move in here, Control T that. Let's make it bigger. Let's use the UVs here. Let's make it bigger, 27 for example. This is going to be 0.8 something, maybe less, 0.08. Okay, that looks good. That looks pretty good actually. And then I'm going to add a mix color node. Sets to mix, and then I'm going to mix this factor with this color, or we can use the color as well. Okay, that's fully up to you. Okay, perfect. Let's see the color ramp or the gradient. Sorry, gradient. Okay, we are going to decrease this factor to see if the thing's working. Okay, the things are working. Okay, to see the color ramp, the things are working. Okay, pretty good. Let's pump up the details to 15. Let's stretch this thing to, for example, like this. Oh, let's play with this value here. Okay, let's increase it to this point. Yep, let's do that to this point. Looks good to me. Okay, that's good. Actually, pretty good. Actually, we've missed something. We need to play with the color management and make it standard. Okay, standard. Okay, just so we can see the white values correctly, because I can see them correctly. Now they are white, or just my monitor. I have no idea. Nice. We have this one. Now we need to do the inverse. D that, connect that, connect the color. Sorry, we need the same idea. Let's do that, and we need the inverse. So let's invert that. Is that as easy as that? No, definitely no. Blender knows what it's doing. Okay, let's see now what things we're doing here. Okay, definitely there is something we need to take care of. Actually, we can add the color ramp. Add the color ramp. Add the color ramp instead. I want to see if I can control this color ramp. Yep, we can control it a little bit, like so. It's perfect, as I can see. It looks good actually. The color ramp will add a ton of these problems. Okay, I'm going to use a mix color sets to add as usual. Shift D that. Okay, G to move in here, and I'm going to add this one to this one. Okay, and then let's see. Oh, perfect. And let's see that. What is our addition? This is our addition. Yep, this is the addition here. Okay, and now I'm going to add these together. But I want to invert this one. So I'm going to use the invert color. Where is the invert color? It is somewhere in the color here. Let's see, where is it? Yep, this add-on is so helpful. Okay, that's pretty good actually. And I'm going to add these together. So Shift D, add these together. Okay, this needs to be above all of these stuff. Okay, so we can see above. Okay, that is actually good. These stuff actually adds some depth to this. Okay, but actually we can get rid of it by just playing with this value in here. We can play with the X location as well. And that is actually good. It's actually good. That is actually pretty good. Pretty good. We want it to move up a little bit. A little bit, you know. Just a little bit, man. What the actually I have no other choice. Yep, just leave it as is in here. It looks good to me. Okay, to be honest, that looks good to me. I want the same thing, but under here. How we can do that? We can duplicate all of these nodes to do that. Okay, now let's see. What we need to do is actually just play with the X location. First, let's play with this one. Move it into here. Doesn't matter, just move it. Now just move this one. Move it to the place that you feel that is going to work for you. And then finally, just add this together. This is going to be the B, and this one, let's move it up, going to be the A color. Let's see, that looks good. Let's see now. Later on, I'm going to fine tune these, and they are going to look good. Okay, that is looking good. That is looking perfect, as I can see here. It's perfect. There is no problems I can see. Looks good. Looks good to me. What I can do right now is add these together. Okay, let's add Control Shift and D. Okay, and then Shift D. Add these together, and I can get rid of this one. Okay, Control X, and then let's see now the result. Oh my god, that looks good. That is looking good. Actually, pretty good. We can animate that. We can animate it first. Let's animate that, or just leave it at the end and animate all of these together. Okay, let's do that. So now we're done. We need just to save it. Control S and Anime River. Let's do tutorial. It's not river, waterfall. River, waterfall tutorial. Okay, like so. It's perfect. Now what we need to model is the half circle. So let's add a circle and scale it up. You can scale it up in the edit mode, by the way. It's up to you. And then press F to fill that. And before filling, let's select the vertex selection mode. Select from that, hold Control and click. Yeah, like so. And I can just dissolve these, X and delete vertices. Now select these, F to fill, and then press F, and fill all of these, okay? That will help us later on with the UVs. I'm going to add Control R to add a loop cut in here, and then connect these two vertices with J, okay? So they are connected right now, so as you can see, it's pretty good. Now let's add water splash, okay? Same it like this, perfect. Now let's delete the same thing. Oh, forgot about something in here. I need to add an emission node. Okay, the emission node, we need it. Okay, so it's going to emit some stuff. It's actually pretty good. Okay, I like it. I like it, guys. Okay, so let's continue. Select that now. Zoom in a little bit. Now we need to do the same steps. We need to color it and then add the foam, etc., splashes, and etc. Okay. So I'm going to duplicate the same stuff. Let's Control C that to copy it, Control V it, and add it into here. And just see it. Now we have a problem. This thing is a circle, and this thing is not a circle. So you know what we are going to do? We are going to turn that from linear to spherical. It's as easy as that. And then I'm going to switch the texture coordinates from generated to either UV or object. I'm going to use the object coordinates. So the object coordinates are going to start from the middle, from the origin, okay, which is the object coordinate. And we can see that right now. I'm just going to play with these. Okay, we can play with, oh, sorry, X location 0, 90, what is going in here? Let's see that right now. Okay, first Control A, apply scale, all the transforms. Okay, that is good. Scale this one up and just play with this one would be 0. Okay, something like so. Just scale it up. The scale is kind of wrong for some reason. Okay, now it's good. And I wanna reverse that. Okay, so the brighter is going to be inside and the darker is going to be outside. And yeah, that's it. Just play with the scale. And all of these should be zeros. Okay. Now we are going to do the same stuff, which is creating the splashes and etc. We're going to use the same gradient. Okay. Same gradient. And I'm going to use noise texture as usual. And I want it to be 4D so we can animate it later on. Control T to add texture coordinates and mappings. And then I'm going to use the UVs for now. Okay, for now. And the same stuff. I'm going to use the same stuff. I'm going to distort this noise texture with a spherical effect. But first, let's control this. Let's control this noise texture. So Control and see. It is my quick favorite. So you can just search for color ramp and add color ramp. Okay. Now the scaling here, I want it to be a scale of 10 for some example. The UVs isn't working. That means we have something going on wrong. Okay, let's select all U unwrap. Okay, now it's going to be good. Let's view the color ramp and let's just play with it. We can make it actually constant and just play with it like so. And then let's add the mix color node. Q add mix color. Let's set that to mix. And let's use now the color from the gradient texture. I use it to distort this coordinates. And as you can see, this is the effect that we want. And what we want is actually to get this effect to work, just play with these values in here. And I can just play with this all day long. I can just play with it until it looks good. Okay, so that feels okay. We can just play with this locations just to get this thing working, kind of. Let's see the W now. Okay, that oh, by increasing that Y scale, that looks good actually. Ooh, let's play with the factor a little bit and let's have some fun with these locations. Oh, that looks pretty good actually. Looks pretty good. Pretty neat. Okay, I like this to be like this. Okay, that is better by a lot than the first version, the prototype. Looks good actually. That is pretty good. We can add a bit of details to it. What is details? We can add a bit of details, some roughness maybe. Okay, just to add some things. Okay, looks good. And by just playing with that Y does a lot. Actually, it does really a lot. And now what we are going to do, we are going to copy the same thing. Copy that without the distortion. Okay, where is the UVs? Let's see now. And actually, let's reset that to 1. I want this to go to this way. Details, not that much details. Roughness 0.5, please. And I'm going to make these pretty much so small, like this. And I want this W just to play like so, like there is a bit of foam, you know. That is good actually. And I can just add these together using the add. Okay, using add, d that, factor of 1. First, let's add this one. Then let's add this one. Okay, let's see this one to the A color. This one to the A color. Oh, now let's play. Okay, this one is already looks good. What we need the same setup in here. Shift D, but it's the inverse. We need this to be here. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to switch the noise texture with a gradient texture, and the noise texture is going to be here, and the noise texture is going to distort the gradient. Now we are going to reset that, and then first let's see the noise texture. Okay, we are going to add to it a color ramp so we can control it more. Add the color ramp. Yeah. Now let's see the gradient. What is it going to look like? Okay, the gradient isn't working well. Is not working well. So might need to play with the factory now and play with some of these locations so we can get it to be in the middle, kind of. Okay, just scale it down, play with the location, scale it up a little bit, not too much, and just move into this place here and just play with its X location. It's good, perfect, 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 and just play with the factor a little bit just to add tiny bits of these things here. Actually, you can play with the details, so you have less details, and you can play with the scale to make it big a little bit, make it detailed a little bit. So we have kind of like a foamy effect here. Not too much, but it's going to work. And we can play with the W here. So we have that foam. Okay, that's good. Actually, pretty insane. Let's add this together. Let's use that. Let's use that. Let's use that. And see now the final product, kind of. Ooh, that's looking good actually. And in here, we are going to add something else, okay? So don't worry, we are going to add something else. But first, we are going to add the rocks and the other stuff. So now I'm going to select this waterfall, go to edge selection mode, select this rim of edges by holding Alt and click, left click, Shift D, G, and then X, and move it on the X axis a little bit. P to separate, and separate that by selection. Now select that, remove this material, go to edit mode, select everything, E to extrude and extrude it on the X axis. A to select everything, G, X, and move it like so. Now what we are going to do, we are going to add to it some loop cuts. But first, let's go to Object or Solid Viewport, Control R and add a ton of these loop cuts. Do the same thing on the other side. We have mainly quads, not like this, so you can see quads like this. That looks absolutely perfect to me. I can add right now for a new modifier. So let's shade it smooth. Add to a modifier. I'm going to add displace modifier. Click new, click on here. Image type, I'm going to switch it to clouds. Play with the size to make it big, rocky, big, and go to the modifier and play with the strength here. That looks good to me. I can add to it a mirror. That working fine. If the mirror isn't working, you can mirror on the object and use this as the object, and that will work perfectly for you. So you have no gaps and no stuff, okay? It's working by default for me, which is good because the origin is still in the middle of this one, okay? Which is perfect. Now I'm going to add to it a new material and call it rock. The rocky material, so simple and easy as just plugging diffuse, shader to RGB, color ramp. Just these three should do the job done for you, okay? Plug them like so. The diffuse to the shader, color to the factor, color to the surface. And now we need it to be constant. And we need the darker color to be this one. This is the hex value, 363B44. And the lighter one is going to be this color. Okay, this is the hex value, 60, 64, 60A, 66A. Okay, looks good to me. Actually, so we have some shading, looks good. We can play with the strength here. Okay, and that is looking perfect for me. Right click, it's smooth. Okay, let's add sub D before this mirror. Right click, smooth. That looks smooth to me. Okay, we need to play with some details here. For example, the shadows. Shadows, let's use 2K. Performance, high, quality normals. And that's it. Yeah, that's it, literally. This one we have forgot to add the emission color, emission shader, sorry. Let's add the emission. So we have fixed that. Now to create some rocks here, I'm going to Shift A and add rocks. Okay, so if that isn't here, let's go to Edit Preferences and search for extra objects under the Add Mesh. Okay, so you have the rock generator. Press slash so you can see that. Press F9 so this menu will appear here, and just play with the deformation. We have more detailed rocks or less detailed. Okay, so I'm going to add that and F9, which is this one here. We can play with this one until we see something that looks good to us. Okay, for example, like so, and increase the number of rocks. Let's have 4, for example. It doesn't matter. They're going to be in a collection. Let's press M and add them to a new collection. Call it rocks. The rocks. Okay. Slash again to go to here, and all of these are selected. Shift select this one. Control L and link materials. And these right now should have the same material. So just place them wherever you want. So I'm going to go full screen and let's move these. Scale, move here. This one, move here. Rotate, scale, G, move. Let's scale this one, G, scale it down. G, Z, G, Y, R, Z. This one, G, move it. G, Z. I'll D this one. Scale it. G, and that looks good to us. Okay. I'll D, R, R, Z, G, Y, G, X, G, Y. That actually looks good. Now let's see that in the material preview. What is the material preview? Yep, this is it. That looks good actually. We can add some of these rocks. Alt D and move it here, like you can see in here, like so. Now, Control S to save that. And now what we need to add plants or grass. So let's make grass. Okay. Shift A, add mesh plane. Slash to go to isolation mode. Go to top view now with numpad 7. Tab to go to edit mode. Control R to add loop cut. Control B that loop cut with only one segment. Control I to inverse. X delete edges. Okay. Control R to add loop cuts. Add some loop cuts, not too much. Okay. Something like so. Now select the vertices at the top. Enable the proportional editing at smooth function. And then S to scale, increase the zone by increasing the, or playing with the mouse wheel, you know, and just play with that. So make that bigger a little bit. Now select the top vertices, disable the proportional editing, and scale them like so. Okay. Now select everything RY, or RX, 90 degrees, GZ, and hold Control and snap them to the grid, kind of. Something like so. Okay, something like so. Just play with that. Now go to the side view, enable the proportional editing, G, and just move this. R to rotate. You can just G that and just move it into here. Something like so. And now we have a simple grass. Okay. Just scale the things that feels weird. Right click and shade smooth. Now go to top view, go to edit mode, select everything, Alt D or Shift D, sorry, and then RZ and rotate that. Disable the proportional editing, RZ, rotate that and just move it here. And just play with these, okay? Okay, something like so. Okay, something so. Maybe select that, scale it down, GZ, and move it down a little bit. And just keep duplicating these. Okay, and just now just play with these. And now you have for yourself grass very easily. Nice. Now we have grass. Let's select that, move it to a new collection, call it grass. And now let's shade this grass with simple shading. Let's add to it a new material, call it grass. Okay. Diffuse, RGB, color ramp. Actually, we can use emission here. Just leave it as is. Let's use gradient texture. Control T that. Control V that. Sorry, not Control V. Control Shift and click. Now that feels, you know, let's rotate down y-axis by 90. Just play with this value here. Let's get this color ramp and place it here. Give it some colors. Some dark green, some light green, like Genshin Impact grass, you know, like this one, something. You can actually plug it to, let's do, you know, this one, see now. That is now good. Can disable these. Let's get an emission. Yep, emission looks good actually. Now you can just put the grass wherever you like. For example, put it in here. I'll do that. rotate it, scale it. I'll do that. Rotate it like that. I'll do that. Rotate it. I'll do scale it. Rotate it. I'll do rotate it. You know, you get the idea. Just rotation, scaling, etc., etc., etc. You have a little funny thing. But now we need to animate it. So let's get to the animation. Make sure the animation here is to 24 frames or 23.98, okay? Which is the stuff for cinematic stuff. Okay, anyways, it's not cinematic, but no, just leave as is. 24 is going to work for you, so don't worry about that. Okay, now let's animate that. Let's start with this one. What we need to animate? We have this one says 4D. What this thing does? Okay, let's animate it. Let's add hashtag frame divided by 100. Let's see now. So fast is divided by 300. Pretty good, but still fast. 400, pretty good. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, this one, let's copy this one. Okay, let's do hashtag Control F, Control V, sorry, Control F, what? And that is going to be animated as well. That's good. Let's animate the other one. Where is the other one? Yep, white's going to be here. Let's move it up. This one, we're going to animate this one, okay? Hashtag frame, Control V. Okay, place that, see how it's going to be looking. This is so slow. Let's add 100. Okay, that is good. Let's say we need something here, so don't forget that. We need to add something there. Don't worry about that. Now let's start animating this waterfall. Waterfall, waterfall, waterfall. Let's animate now the X location, Y location. Yep, Y location. Hashtag frame, Control V. Let's see if it's slow or fast or whatever. So slow. Let's 200. So slow. 100. Yep, 100 is looking good. Now let's animate this one. Okay. Control V. Sorry. Let's do hashtag. Hashtag. Let's do 100. We need the same speed as these ones. Okay, this one is so fast. So 200. Sorry. We don't need to animate that. Sorry, we don't need to animate that. We need to animate the Y location. So hashtag frame and divide it by 200. Ooh, that is looking good actually. It's looking good. Now we need to animate what we need to animate. Well, we need to animate. We need to make this one 4D because we forgot to do that. And let's animate this W. Hashtag frame divided by 300 to make it super slow kind of. Ooh, that looks good actually. Now let's do the same thing. Control C that. And what we need to animate. Let's make this one 4D. Hashtag Control V. That looks good. That looks good. Okay. That actually looks pretty good actually. Looks pretty good. Now we need to add something here. So Shift A, add UV sphere. G, Y, and move it. R, and then Y, 90 degrees. Tap to go to edit mode, S, X, and scale on the X axis. And then I'm going to add to it a displace modifier. New, click here. Let's make it cloud. Size. Let's add to a sub D. Make it smooth. Right click. It's smooth. Make it 2 levels. Or 1 level is going to be good. 1 level. Go to this one and play with the size. Okay, play with the intensity. Maybe add the sub D before and after as well. Okay, looks good actually. Okay, now let's play with size. Okay, just play now with the intensity. And I'm going to add the coordinates to object. Shift A and add empty. Let's use arrows. Let's just move this up. We can't see the empty Y. Yep, now we can see the empty. GY, GZ. Now let's select that. Select the empty as the object. Okay. And now just scale the empty. And we are just going to rotate the empty on the... Where is the x-axis? Yep, the x-axis. We are going to animate it on the x-axis. Where is the x-axis? This is the x-axis. So hashtag frame divided by 100, for example. As a start, always start with something like this. It's not working. Let's make it faster. Let's make it 50. half of that. It's not working. Let's do 20. It's not working. Let's add 10. Okay, that is good. Now let's add to a material, call it foam here. I'm going to add an emission, and voila, we're done. Yep. Because we don't need the shadows to be appearing here. You can select the empty and make it faster. You can make it only 7. Okay. And now, as we can see, that looks good. Now we need some compositing. Bloom, threshold, something like so. Make it kind of blue. Looks good. Let's go now to the compositor. Kuwahara node. So let's add, where is the Kuwahara node? So let's play, let's see. Converters, distort, where is it? Colors, filters, yeah, filters, Kuwahara node. We need to see the compositor on always and use nodes, okay? Looks good. Oh my god, that looks painterly. Okay, let's make it anisotropic. Let's play with the sharpness. Let's play with this thing that I can't pronounce. What it's called? Centricity. Okay, I can't pronounce it, so just leave it as is. 6 levels is good, actually. That makes it look pretty good, pretty nice. I like it. Why not? I like it. That looks good. I'm going to add glare. Okay, let's add fog glow. Sets to medium. Threshold. Let's make the size like so. Let's play with the mix here. Let's play with the mix. That looks good. We can add a color balance, or we can add lens distortion. Fit that 101, and that looks pretty good. We can make it dispersion a little bit. We can disable that. Don't need that. We can make this one film transparent. Why we can't see? Oh my god, we need to be in render viewport. Let's add lights, sunlight. Let's move it, rotate it along the y-axis, increase its strength 3, or for example 5. That looks good to mimic the same thing. Let's rotate it on the z-axis so we have some shadows in here. Actually, we can add ambient occlusion to these rocks. Okay, let's add it. Let's add some ambient occlusion to these rocks. So ambient occlusion node, mix these together, add it to multiply, factor of 1, color ramp, and that's it. You can increase or decrease the values. You can make it constant as well. Okay, and you can play with this one, and I like it to be just linear and have fun with it. Okay, that looks pretty good, pretty good. That adds some ambient occlusion with the intersections. That feels nice. Ctrl S and save it. And by the way, maybe I'm going to add this one for free for you guys, so we can download it and have fun with it. Okay, so it's animated, and you can add it to your game engine, by the way, if you have a game and you want some waterfalls and stuff. Okay, so that's a good idea to create waterfalls. Yep, maybe I'm going to update this one later on and make something looks good, make this waterfall more advanced, and have some stuff, maybe some fishes, not fishes, some fish. Okay, I have no idea how to pronounce that. But anyways, thanks guys for watching this video. Hope you like it, and if you like it, make sure to subscribe, leave a like and comment, and share this video with your friends. As always, salam, khayr, khitam. Assalamu.